Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today, we are doing 1986's Top Gun. If you would like to reach out to Corey or I on Twitter, you can reach out to me at Junior D's. You can reach out to Corey at Idle Poncho. Let's get off and rolling. We do twat a lot. And if you want to suggest a movie, you can comment below. We're open to suggestions, as we've proven.
We'll do it.
Exactly. And I want to thank all the new subscribers that have come in this month already in a short month. We already got a lot of subscribers, but I want to, before we get into like the whole movie, the cast and all that, I want to give a 10-second synopsis of this movie, which is basically the whole overview, beginning to end, is fighter jets. Bang, bang. Shoot them down. Boring. More fighter jets. Bang, bang. Teeth chomp. Fighter jets. Gross kissing. Fighter jets. Death. End. Fair?
It's about right. You forgot to throw in the start of World War III. Just casually happening. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much right on.
Yeah, all right. Well, this movie stars Tom Cruise as Maverick, Val Kilmer as Iceman, Kelly McGillis as Charlie, Anthony Edwards as Goose, and a slew of other people in this movie. That there's a lot of really good actors that are in this movie. Some are just playing bit roles. Tim Robbins is Merlin in this.
He basically shows up to go,
"You're gonna do what?"
He has two parts. You're gonna do what? And earlier in the movie, at the beginning of this movie, when it opens up, going, "Cougar, you gotta land the plane. We're running out of gas."
Man, if we got a little problem up here, that MiG really screwed him up. I don't think he can make it back.
This movie opens with an aircraft carrier on patrol near the Persian Gulf when radar contact is made with a MiG fighter. Maverick and Goose, along with Cougar and Merlin, fly to intercept the incoming MiG. There are actually two MiGs, and Cougar is outmaneuvered by one of them. Maverick locks his missile radar on one. That dude flies away, and then the other stays with Cougar. The other MiG is chased off when Maverick flies upside down and flips him off. And
yes. Look, that's been America's foreign policy for probably about the last 30 years. So I think it's pretty much status quo.
Absolutely. So flying back to the carrier after this, because apparently Cougar's all shaken up because they locked their missile radar on him, and all of a sudden he can't fly. Listen, I'm not going to mock him for this. I don't know how often this happens. I'm not a pilot. I don't know. I'm tall enough to be a pilot because I'm super short, but that's about my qualifications at this point. So I don't know how often that happens, but he freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, he's gone.
And all he has to do.
This is why I'm not a big fan of anybody ever carrying pictures of their family around with them. Because all he's doing is looking at that picture and going, "I'm never going to see these kids again. I'm never going to see these kids again. I'm never going to get in that lady again. Never going to get my wife again." And then it's just fucking, he's done.
Well, and all he has to do is literally turn the plane around, go back to the carrier, and land. Maverick goes in for the landing, goes against captain's orders, flies back out. It's funny because he's like, "Well, I got to go help Cougar." I'm like, "What are you going to do? You're in a plane. It's not like you got a net and you're like going to catch him. Like, here, let me drag you in, buddy."
Well, I like how he goes, "Cougar!" and then like slams his fucking thing down, slams the throttle down. It's just like, Jesus Christ, Maverick, you're dramatic AF.
But after that, he gets Cougar to land. He lands. Cougar then goes to the captain, gives him his wings. Like, okay, apparently one incident and I can't fly no more. So I just need to go back home and cool.
Yeah, a lot of people we'll make this a PSA. If you've been thinking about joining the military, like many of us do not use this movie as an example of why you should. Because when you're just like, "Nah, fuck this job," they're like, "Nah, fuck you," and they send you right back out. Only all of a sudden you're on the front line with the knobs that can't fight.
Yeah.
So maybe just
Yeah.
just think about your options.
Just, hey, listen, this is a PSA for all walks of life. Take 24 hours. Calm down. This is literally 2 minutes after he lands. Like, he's still dripping in sweat, and he's like, I can't fly, and here's my wings. Maverick and Goose go in. They were supposed to get, like, their ass chewed for going against orders, but he's like, well, my only one good pilot just quit on me, so I guess you're going to Top Gun school.
And by the way, like, this aircraft carrier has to be patrolling the most dangerous area on the planet, that you have the two best fighters in the Navy on the same aircraft carrier? What if there's an accident?
Yeah. Well,
like,
apparently
shouldn't you be sharing the wealth a little bit?
There was, and one quit. So now you got
exactly.
one. And now you don't even have one because you're sending him to Top Gun school.
Yeah.
So now you got zero.
You're floating around the goddamn Baltic Sea during the Cold War, just dicks flopped out.
So after this, they get sent to Top Gun school. When they get there, Maverick already, like day one, 5 minutes in, starts a rivalry with Iceman from word jump. Like,
Maverick is basically Daniel LaRusso. He's pretty much like the protagonist in this movie, but also like a lot of your problems are on you, bro. And the fact that you don't want to deal with them because you're just like, she lost that love and feeling, Goose.
Exactly.
I'm in the fucking Navy. Let's go sing to this broad. That's your whole scheme right now.
This whole movie, it's so funny you brought up Daniel LaRusso because that's exactly what I thought of. I'm like, 90% of the bad shit that happens to you is on you.
Yes.
Yes,
so, you're the dick. Not everybody else. The Iceman cocky? Yeah, he's cocky. He's like a pilot. Guess what? I know guys flying Delta, fucking like the puddle hoppers, puddle jumpers, and they're just like, yeah, I'm a fucking pilot. Look at my wings. Like, yeah, but your uniform says Delta. Is it really that big of a deal? Those guys are all egomaniacs.
Dude, if you're flying hunks of metal through the air, you're all right with me. At the bar that night, and this is like after their first day at school, Maverick notices Charlie, the young blonde, at the bar, and
she's lost that love and feeling.
Hitting on a girl at a bar. I was never like, hey guys, let's make an ass out of me right now.
I actually, in contrary to you, every time I've hit out on a girl at a bar, I knew I was going to be the ass.
Listen, the less I said...
It's just the way it always ends up.
The less I said and the less I did, the better chance I had of getting the girl's number. I'm not singing or dancing or any of that bullshit. This dude's like, dude, I can't sing. I'm 5'2". Like, cool. I'm totally, like, going to put myself out there.
We have to back up a little bit because you said hitting on a girl at a bar, which is all perfectly fine and innocent. This was a $20 bet to fuck the girl in the bar.
You have to have carnal knowledge of a lady this time. On the premises. On the premises.
I love my military boys, but that's some fast and loose shit.
I heard that, you nasty.
Picking out who you're possibly going to bathroom bang for $20. I would not pick Charlie out of that entire bar.
What do you want to do? Just drop right down on the tile and go for it?
Charlie looks like the last person that's going to be like, dude, this chick just got out of there taking a massive liquor shit. Let's go fuck. Just not going to happen. Charlie is far too classy to be involved in any kind of vomitous/vaginal connection.
Yeah. No, I got you. Well, and then she breaks off and goes to sit and have dinner and drinks with, I don't know, her grandfather. It's like the oldest guy in the bar. And the funny thing is, the old guy is actually the real life Viper. And he was a Top Gun instructor. And no lines. Awesome. But yeah, it was just a cool little tidbit of information.
I can almost guarantee you they gave him like 2 speaking lines and they were like, no.
So the next day they get to school, to their training, and Charlie's the instructor, and cool. So apparently their relationship starts there. All right.
So you're the one.
Yeah.
That's where their relationship starts, which kind of makes Charlie fucked up if you think about it, because he was just a pilot trying to fuck her in a bathroom before. And she's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, you're the one that did an inverted 4G flipping the bird to that guy. All right.
Yeah.
Come on over to my house. Let's have a chat.
After this, we have the locker room scene where Iceman and Maverick get into it. Iceman gets in Maverick's face about being unsafe and dangerous. Maverick says, yeah, that's right. I am dangerous. Okay. And then you get the inexplicable Iceman teeth chomp thing.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and make this another PSA. Hey kids, Uncle Corey, if you're going to attempt to look cool to a rival, don't chomp your teeth at him. One, you look like an asshole. And two, it really hurts your teeth. That's not healthy.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's
just
not good.
don't do it.
It's just not a good look. Like, afterward, like, if I was the director or if I had written the script, I'd be like in parentheses after, like, oh, he chomps his teeth like that. Or if it was improv, I would have been like, okay, cut. Tom, when he does that, I want you to go look at everybody and go, what is that? You're a fucking asshole.
Look, this guy's trying to nibble my nose.
What are you doing? You're a dipshit.
What are you doing, little puppy dog? You want to nibble my nose, puppy?
After this, Jester calls Maverick to his office, threatens to expel him if he continues his dangerous ways, whatever. Metcalf knows Maverick because he flew with Maverick's father in Vietnam. And This is where we get the story about how his father was shot down in Vietnam. Charlie is in the classroom after this, and he gets the blow-off from her because she doesn't want anybody to know that she wants to bang out.
She thought his moves were right on, Lieutenant.
So she gives him her home address and says, like, be there at 5:30? Like, okay, cool.
One of the greatest scenes, just quick one-liners, is
Slider, you stink.
What was, I don't even get that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
I'm glad you
like it. Fuck you, Rick Rossovich.
She invites him over for dinner, but his response, in his head is like, I'll be there. But not before I play a great game of volleyball with my buddies. And you know what else? We're all going to have our shirts off, which is fine. I've played volleyball before when I was in better shape. Shirts off. But Hey,
like Jordan said when selling shoes, man, Republicans buy shoes too. Gay men go to movies too, man.
No, that's great.
And that's a lot of sweet meat.
Flopping
around out there on the volleyball court.
I will give you that. But there's just random flexing for no reason.
There was very clear reason why they were flexing. It's called dollar bills, y'all.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I haven't seen this movie in a while, and I thought, everybody knows the volleyball scene. And I was like, oh, they're all playing in jeans, and like, that's so stupid, and why would they do... No, just Tom Cruise.
Just Tom Cruise.
And I figured it out. He didn't want anybody to see his chicken legs. Like, yeah, he's got some muscles and stuff up top, but like, I think he's got like little chicken legs underneath, and he just didn't want nobody to see it.
You think he looks like me from the waist down? Poor bastard.
I think so. So he was like, I'm just wearing jeans. Like, screw it.
And if you can't tell by the shape of my shoulders and up, I should probably be the Anthony Edwards character in this moment, wearing the shirt and shorts.
You're wearing all the Tommy Bahama shit?
All you guys with muscles, take your shirts off, hike your shit up, get your packages set. Anthony, throw on this baggy-ass clothes and, I don't know, just grow a mustache or something. Nobody's going to look at you. It's fine. That's me.
So he heads to Charlie's house for dinner and to take a quick shower?
If you don't mind, I'm going to just take a quick shower while you're
finishing up here?
Who asks
That's really
that?
presumptuous.
Yeah.
He just thinks, like, I want to know, because he says the first time he tried the Lost Your Love and Feeling, he crashed and burned. I want to know what his hit rate is, to where he just walked into the bathroom, thought they were going to bone it out,
Yeah.
and then shows up to her house and is so like, hey, I got to wash this stink before I give you my gift. I'm just going to hop in the shower real quick. Is that cool? Like, I know it's the 80s. I'm going to use your bar of soap, even though we don't know each other, and shove it up my ass because I've been playing some stank-ass volleyball.
You're going to get a random pube on your bar of soap. Isn't that the worst?
Fucking white people.
Maverick is then teamed up with Iceman and bitches to him about taking too long to take a shot at an enemy. He finally gets out of the way, gets caught in his jet wash. His plane goes into a flat spin, and Goose opens the emergency ejection handles. I know this is the saddest part in the movie for 99% of the people watching, but this part of the movie got me really upset. Like, I got mad because he pulls the emergency latch. The top is supposed to go pew, like out in the wind, and your two pilots go flying out the top, parachutes, yada yada. I want to know how he hit the thing and Tom Cruise got out completely unscathed. I was very upset about this. Like, they never, do they say, because I know they have a hearing about it.
Right.
Do they say it was a malfunction of the plane? Like, is that ever brought up?
They don't bring up the actual ejection part. They say that it was a complete accident, that getting caught in the jet wash, there was no way that could have been avoided. But that's all they focus on.
Yeah.
The reason that that's happening, the physics behind that is there are so many G's pulling on them when they're spinning down, and that downforce pushing on them. The back of that hatch is connected to the base of the plane more so than the front half. So when it is dispelled, the front half is going to have an easier release, and the back half, because of that down pressure, wasn't able to come up.
Okay. Thanks for explaining it to me, because I don't science. I just got really pissed. I was like, they keep talking about how expensive these planes are. Well, then make the fucking planes work so your pilots don't die when they fucking eject. And Goose is still alive.
And I don't care who you are, the first time you saw this movie, you cried at that. You didn't necessarily like, oh my God, dude. But you were like, oh fuck, I got, like, there's some dust in my eye or some shit in this movie theater. I don't know what happened.
Dude, that's like the worst part of this movie.
It's such a bad scene. Tom Cruise did such a good job. Even in the awkward scene where he's like shaving in his underwear.
In his tighty whities?
Yeah. And he's like, I'm sad Tom Cruise, but here's a sweet ass shot.
Great ass!
But he does such a good job when, right when he's talking with Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
After Goose has died. And, you know, she's telling him he would have flown if you had died. You know, he would have hated it, but he would have done it. And he's trying like so hard to keep it together. And anybody who's ever had like somebody pass or something like that, when you're trying to keep that shit together, like, I gotta be strong. You get the walnut chin, the quivering walnut. Dude, he did that so well.
After this whole thing, Maverick's crushed by Goose's death. He's not sure if he wants to keep flying or, hell, even graduate. He has enough credits or points, or however they do it there, to graduate. And Metcalf tells him, like, you have enough points to graduate, but or you could just quit.
Well, I like how he's like, Tom Skerritt goes into this very long, like, you have enough points, you flew well, you've earned your way into graduation with the rest of your class.
Yeah.
Or you can fuck off and quit, bitch. Like, and then Tom Cruise, picking up, you know, all the signs, goes, oh, so you think I should quit? And he's like, no, that's not what I said. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I said it before. Read the fucking room, okay?
Right?
Come on, take some social cues. And let's move on with this.
So you think I should quit? No, pet this bunny. I'll take care of the rest.
So he goes, he shows up to graduation, and apparently, again, I've never been in the military. The minute you graduate, you automatically get your assignments, and they're like, hey, put down that piece of cake, fatty. You got to get on this fucking aircraft carrier. Like, you're leaving right now. So they leave, Iceman and Maverick and all them, they leave, they go to the aircraft carrier, and then they get into this dogfight in the air randomly. They're like, and I only vaguely got an understanding. They were like, one of our ships broke down and floated into, enemy territory or whatever. We're just trying to get it back. That's a phone call from the president to whatever. Like, hey, our ship broke down. Can we just go over there and drag it back into our side of the thing? Okay, great. Yep. They decide, fuck it. We're going to send our fighter jets over. For what? Are you going to hook the fighter jets and drag it? Like, I don't understand why they were going, but cool.
Well, they had two MiGs approaching. They caught on radar that the two MiGs were approaching. And then they said, all right, launch the jets. And then it turned out, oopsie, we can't count because it's 1984 and radar. And there are 5 of them.
They are constantly messing up the amount of fighter jets that the enemy has. It's like at the beginning, there's 1. Oh no, there's 2 because they were on top of each other and radar. And this time they're like, there's 2. No, there's 17 of them. So there's 5 of them.
Radar technology has made quite wonderful leaps.
Exactly. So they get out there, and it's like Iceman and Hollywood. Hollywood gets shot down in 3 seconds. He's like, dude, there's a his whole asset blows up.
They get shot down because Wolfman is radar guy sitting in the back, and he's like, I think they're close. I'm getting a boner. No, use your radar, not your dick. FYI. Then you can spot the MiG fucking right behind you.
Iceman is surrounded.
Again, I feel like you're being very nice with your description. Because, dude, they're running like crazy 8s around him. Yeah. He's sitting here seemingly floating. And they're just, woo, woo, woo. It looks like a fucking rave. Like some dude with glow sticks is just pounding it out in front of him. It's the craziest shit that's going on. And they're like, come on, Maverick, we got to engage. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
You Cirque du Soleil pilots down there. You want me to fucking jump in the middle of it?
You need to get the fuck out of there is what we need to do. Maverick arrives on the scene. They're all surrounded by the enemy. He gets caught up in one of the plane's jet wash again, but he regains control. And he starts to lose his shit, and he disengages. The one thing that I noticed is Hollywood gets shot down immediately. Iceman is surrounded, Cirque du Soleil. They got people doing flips and shit around him. And Tom Cruise shows up to this thing, and there was 5. Iceman shoots 1, and Tom Cruise shoots the other 4. What the fuck are you doing? I thought you were the best. You graduated top of the class in Top Gun school. But you're just fucking willy-nilly. Shoot a missile! What the fuck are you doing?
If it makes you feel any better, Tom Cruise only shot 2 more down. The other 2 bugged off and went home.
Whatever.
So it was 2-1. It was close.
He shot the 2 down, and then the other 2 left because he shot the 2 down. I'm not
gonna take your Iceman abuse because he and Rick Rossovich went through hell in that dogfight. And did everything they could to survive.
I'll tell you this. I like Rick Rossovich. But Val Kilmer in this movie pissed me off so much. Any little bad thing that I saw from him, I'm like, this motherfucker here. Look at this guy. So,
You to Iceman is what, a lot of basketball fans are like with LeBron James. What do you mean he was triple teamed all night? And he only scored 30 points. Fucking bitch, do something.
That's exactly it. So
totally you.
They fight off all the enemies, whatever, and they land. And now everybody it was like Dennis the Menace at the end. It was like everybody crowds him, like, hey, Dennis is back. it was like they all crowd him. They're all like, yay, high fives. And they're all friends because, like, understanding and bro stuff. So, cool. Now,
Also,
Iceman and Maverick are best friends.
We just started World War III. High fives while the nukes fly, because that's exactly what the fuck was happening.
Well, that's
a MiG engaged a United States fighter. We returned fire, shot down 3 to their 1. And they're like, oh, international newspapers are saying you guys are heroes despite the Russians denying the incident. This isn't like something that gets played out in the media.
Well, that was the funny thing. We just had
air combat. We just had a real-life war scenario.
Yes. That was the one question I had, because the captain from the carrier comes down to see Maverick at the end here, and he's like, oh, you're all over the paper, and you're a hero, and how do you feel? Where do you want to get stationed? Where do you want to be? Like, anything. You name it. The blank check, sir.
Yeah.
And I went, wow, for real? Like, A, I didn't know that could happen after one incident. But 2,
it doesn't.
Yeah, I know. But 2, I was like, I'm pretty sure they just initiated World War III. Like, that just doesn't go away. But
no.
That's just
if you've
that's
never
just
seen
me.
it, there's a sci-fi like horror movie back in the day called like DEFCON 1 or DEFCON 4. I forget what they actually called it.
Yeah.
But it was about people that came off a space station and discovered that nuclear war had taken place over Earth. That's basically what Top Gun Maverick is going to be about. It's just a remake of that old horror movie. Like, he's going to be down and like, hey, I'm off the space station. Maverick's home. Holy shit, it's a desert wasteland and there are cannibal mutants running around. Somebody get me a jet.
But yeah, this is basically the end of the movie, though. The last thing is him throwing Goose's dog tags off the carrier, which I didn't understand that either. Like I
had a big problem with that.
I thought you'd keep those, or I don't know, give them to his wife,
or his son.
He has a young son. Yeah, or his son.
Who sat on piano tops and sang Great Balls of Fire with his father and you. And you're like, I don't need these anymore. Fuck them.
I know it's like he's throwing them out, as a symbol, like he's coming to terms with his friend's death. Like, and I understand all that, but like at the end of the day, I'm like, couldn't you throw his aviators in the ocean and then give his dog tags to somebody in his family?
Yeah, you could still symbolically get rid of this guy off your back or ready to move on by giving the dog tags to his kid.
You were right.
Do you think this still holds up today, 2020?
Absolutely. We're making a shitload of fun of the movie. I loved it. This was the first time in a very long time I've watched it and actually really watched it.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic movie.
I haven't seen this movie in forever too. And it still holds up, even though the look and feel of it, the clothing, because this is why I like military style movies, is because uniforms typically don't change a whole hell of a lot over the course of 30 years.
Very much so.
Yeah, so it's like all of that, the look and feel of it still holds up. It's an entertaining movie. I really enjoyed it. I still, even though what's happening in the movie, Goose is going to die, it's still an emotional scene. Like, all of that stuff coupled together makes this a really good movie. There is one note which made it more of a comedy for me. Because...
Would that be Iceman? We get it. We heard it.
No. So I was going through, and what I've started doing is looking at maybe some trivia or something about each of the movies. Mm-hmm. So I found out 2 things. One, and this is, I'm not speaking out of school here, Tom Cruise had to wear lifts during this because Kelly McGillis is 5'10", and Tom Cruise is 5'7". So he had to wear lifts in his shoes, but there was a part in the film where, I forget what part it is, but they literally had to dig like a trench that Kelly McGillis stood in so that they could be looking eye to eye. So throughout this whole movie, I'm looking and I'm like, oh, she's leaning in a lot of scenes and doing a lot of those things so he could look a little taller than her maybe. But some of that stuff was just really funny. I found it hilarious. And it turned it into more of a comedy for me.
My God, dude.
But that's just me. But I really, at the end of the day, and I know there's a ton to make fun of, and I can make fun of Tom Cruise till the end of time. But I love this movie. Still a good movie. I love it.
Yo, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
it's a great movie. Other than the fact that Tom Cruise at the end, this is the one part of it that really just made me be like, "This is so stupid." He walks over to the jukebox. It starts playing. You've lost that loving feeling.
Yeah,
like he walks over, throws his jacket over, takes his beer, strides over, and just stares at the jukebox. You know what song it's playing. What are you doing? Like, I don't understand what that's supposed to, like, are you remembering all the good times fondly as you stride over to your jukebox? It was just a very weird scene, like, and I know she comes out, she's blurry in the background, she's like, "Hey, sailor." But it's like, what the fuck are you doing walking? Like, you're perfectly comfortable. A song came on the jukebox that reminds you very clearly of your time here at Top Gun. Cool. I've had that happen like at a million bars because I have a bit of a drinking problem. And when that has happened, I don't walk over the jukebox and just stare at it, emotionally pondering what's happened in my life. It's just like, oh, cool, this song. This one time I was at this bar and blah, blah, blah happened.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you.
That part was just really weird, and it seemed like it was unnecessarily dramatic.
You're right. It's fact.
The movie should have ended with him saying, "I want to be a Top Gun instructor."
Yes, agree.
And then the next scene, I think, is him throwing the tags off. I would have gotten rid of that one, and I would have gotten rid of the other final scene, and just ended it with that.
That's right.
But yeah, that's all I got for this. You got anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Well, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1986's Top Gun.
Twat us on Twitter.